you want to follow a lot of people who drive the Capitol because so much is dependent on procedural machinations, right? Whether or not something is going to move is dependent on whether or not there's an appropriate vehicle or there's a way for the other body to address it. But the other thing to remember is these are all self-imposed rules. All of the bodies can suspend the rules to do something they really, really want to do. But these guys are talking about sort of structural barriers to like keep things from happening. All right, so let's talk about another topic that maybe has happened more nationally. Is there any traction on automatic voter registration? Are you hearing anything on that?
Go ahead.
You know, okay, so that automatic voter registration has been bipartisan in other states. And when I say bipartisan, I mean literally universal in West Virginia, when controlled by a Republican legislature, and in Illinois, and signed by a Republican governor. So when I say bipartisan, I mean very bipartisan. Alaska, also another state that has voter registration, automatic voter registration, Republican controlled the legislature, Republican governor, right? So it's not a partisan issue in other states. You come to Minnesota, and suddenly it's like you ask for Satanism to be the church of the state. Like it's, for whatever reason, it is a non-starter for Republicans in Minnesota. I could not tell you. It's not just Kiffmeyer. It's not just Kiffmeyer. I think the House Republicans are not interested in it either. I mean, definitely Kiffmeyer's not. It's a non-starter for Kiffmeyer specifically. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming. Anyways, the point is, it's a non-starter with Republicans right now. I would like to change that. I'm hoping that at some point that can be an open discussion. I think that because there are other priorities that are higher up on the list that are of interest to members of the legislature, whether that be restore the vote or census or redistricting or other election issues, I don't know that automatic voter registration has really any chance. The only way I can see a path forward for automatic voter registration this year, or even this biennium, is if it gets included in some large state government operations and elections policy and finance omnibus bill, and it is a bargaining chip that does not get bargained away. Whether I don't feel great about that chance, but we'll see.
Okay, so I'm going to be the devil's advocate. Part of what you see, and what you're going to continue to hear, is the polarization, the political polarization of our own purple state. Minnesota has had that pride, that cultural pride of being very issue-oriented, right? Although we may, in our private lives, tend to lean more right or lean more left, when it came to like a lot of these issues, we voted like really common sense, right? This is a no-brainer, this is common sense. What you're seeing now, and I would say in the last 5 years or so, I've really been noticing that, is further and further and further and further polarization, so that when you come to bills such as Nick, and we're going to be discussing more, you're suddenly sitting as a constituent saying, this is a no-brainer, this is common sense. Other states have been able to do this, why not Minnesota? And you have to start asking yourself, why not Minnesota? I would say that it's part of the reason is because constituents haven't been holding their elected officials accountable. Because constituents have ridden for a long time with whatever Kool-Aid they were getting at those town halls, and never, and you just, you know, like when you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, okay, ma'am, well, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to cut that leg off. I know it's just the ankle, I know you just sprained it, but if we cut the leg off, right, will your ankle hurt? No, because we done took care of the whole damn leg. So when you blindly trust someone to the point where you almost defer your state of democracy to that person, right? This is where we're at, where we're trying to move common sense, everyday reforms, and we can't get people to see beyond blue or red.